trying to set traps for a straight right hand. Turns his body, fakes like he's going to walk away. Anything to get that right hand on top.
His hand speed is pretty special for a 168-pounder, George.
And I think it could have been a lot better if he trimmed down the right way and not just went out and stopped drinking water.
Toney, you got this right on the hand. I want it around the side. I want you to hit him on the arm with that fucking punch, okay?
Carl Letterman, 10 rounds. How do you see it?
Larry, 8 rounds to 2, 98-92 in favor of the champion, James Toney. He's just out punching Tony Thornton from here to tomorrow. He's in complete control, landing the cleaner, harder shots, showing us good defense. But I tell you, if he pick up the pace a little bit, I honestly believe he could deck Thornton.
All right. Give me 6 minutes. I got to have it.
All right.
Look here. I got to have it. I need these 6 minutes. Let's go. Let's have it. Let me have it. Fight him for 6 minutes. Show him what it means to be in there with a man. Second out. Everything's snapped, all right? Looking at him, eyes on him all the time, and bang him around the top.
Round 11. For the fighter who has the sport's only corner woman, James Toney. Manager Jackie Callan leans in over the ropes and puts in her 2 cents, occasionally between rounds.
Let me tell you, her 2 cents is a lot more valuable than 2 cents. She motivates this kid and let him know that she didn't bring him over here just to show up. She wants him to people to go home and say, we saw Toney.
That's a good point, George. They have a terrific relationship. She has meant a lot to him, and she's done a great job of steering his career so far.
I'm wondering what Roy Jones is thinking as he watches this. There are some indications that Jones isn't as eager to fight Toney mid-next year as some negotiations have suggested, and we're just wondering maybe whether this changes his mind, what his thoughts are exactly.
This shouldn't change anyone's mind.
Isn't changing his mind?
No, I don't think so, because Toney is doing what he wants to do in that ring right now.
And he's starting to open up and throw more power shots here in round 11. Crowd warms to the occasion. James seems to be thinking maybe a late knockout would give this crowd something to feel good about. Landed the uppercut.
A young fighter has to learn earlier that there's some guys you're not going to knock out. And Toney learned this maybe a lot earlier than he should have.
He's done well with it so far, though.
He wins boxing matches, he controls it, but he never throws himself away.
So you're saying his chances of becoming a superstar in the eyes of the public are going to be limited by this style?
That's true. It's going to take a certain style to make him look good. And there aren't that many middleweights with that kind of style to make Toney look good.
Roy Jones.
No way. He's a counterpuncher. It's not going to look nice.
Right hand across the top landed for Toney. Thornton comes back with lefts of his own. Both fighters landing. Both fighters throwing professionally. Neither one seemingly able to hurt the other. One more round to go in the IBF super middleweight bout between James Toney and Toney Thornton.
I got to have 6 minutes. I asked for 6 minutes. Can you give me 6? Give me 3 now. I don't need but 3. This is the last round, baby. This is the last round. Let's go out there this time and fight this sucker all the way. This round. And I don't want you to let him win this. All right? I want your hands coming back high. I want you to get everything snapping. But when you get inside, I want to buy your fire. That right hand, you hit him on the shoulder, hit him on the arm, hit him around the body, okay? Lift it up. I need this round. See, I need this round. This is the last round. Ain't no more tomorrow. Okay. So you're gonna have to out-hustle and pressing, stay on top. Minute that you've been fired. Minute that you've been fired.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 12. This is the count. Let's give both fighters a hand.
Round 12 begins. On the 4 previous occasions in his career, when he had a chance to go 12 rounds, Toney Thornton made it the full distance every time and lost the decision every time. He appears to be headed down that same road.
It's so hard to get 3 shots in on him. And in the middleweight, one punch just doesn't do it. You hit him with a good right hand and the hook isn't there. You hit him with a good hook and the right hand isn't there.
All those great Sugar Ray Robinson knockouts with the left hook were set up jab, right hand, then left hook.
And he could do it like no other. Maybe Sugar Ray Leonard.
And he didn't do it every time either, guys.
No.
Nobody does it every time.
But it made it so interesting when they weren't doing anything.
James Toney, if he gets the decision here, is tentatively scheduled to meet Tim Littles of Southfield, Michigan in January. That's a mandatory defense of this title. Littles is a terrific-looking athlete who's not very aggressive as a fighter, and that fight doesn't promise it to be terribly exciting either. So the public waits for Toney against Roy Jones.
There's that right hand.
One at a time, though.
Yeah, you just can't get 2 together because you got to sneak it in so quick.
The punching postman lands a couple of lefts. And round 12 looks like almost all of its predecessors. Be a purist to appreciate the stamina, the technique, the artistry that we've seen over the course of these past 12 rounds. This was a boxing match. In Tulsa.
But Toney did try for a knockout on several occasions. This guy's tough that he's fighting.
Like I said, a 12-round fighter. He proved it again.
Okay, Jones. All right, man.
Toney Thornton smiling widely at the end. Hard for me to imagine that he believes he won the fight, and that tells you something.
I'd hate to be a postman, some guy down the street thinking he can whip a postman.
Well, he would win the all-postman competition. I feel fairly certain about that without having seen many of the other fighting postmen.
And he could knock out a few guys on
National
the street.
Boxing Postman's Tournament. I make him the favorite.
Hey, what's up, baby? Did it again. Come on, baby. You looking good.
Stay with us. Still to come, we've got the Bo Holyfield preview. Interviews with both Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield sitting live in Las Vegas. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Then Tommy Morrison will thrill this crowd simply by entering the ring against Michael Bent. And right now, let's go to Michael Buffer for the official decision in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards.
Steve Epstein scores the bout 118 to 110. Lucien Jobert scores it 116 to 112. And Paul Weitzel scores it 118 to 110 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still, super middleweight champion of the world, James Lights Out Toney.
Position.